Good evening, boys and girls. We made it to the late night Daytona after party edition. And I see all the regulars are in the chat. Thank you for coming. You're all beautiful. This is probably potentially the most not safe for work version of the podcast ever. Maybe. It depends on what stories come out. So prepare yourself. Gird your loins. Keep your loins in order. Really quickly, before everybody pops in, we'll do a quick sponsor shout out. And then 2 sponsors will hopefully be here. But first, Stoneage ball pythons. Breeding beautiful ball pythons in the Pacific Northwest. I haven't circled back around because he did Albany to see how that show went. But they all looked very happy. And I'm pretty sure Powerhouse Pythons was also there. He also looked happy. So I think, the like show slump was a slump, but maybe people are coming back from vacations, getting back in school, and things are turning over a new leaf. So that's my dream. So thank you, Justin and Andrew, for your sponsorship. Shane Kelley, Small Town Xotics, has a bunch of really cool adult ball pythons that he's listing from his like Pied and Dreamsicle projects. So if you want RTB not full of diseases ball pythons, Small Town Xotics, his husbandry store set profile is the most up to date. And Bravo Zulu, who also has like a really nice website now, lots of current availability and more stuff coming out. You can check her out for puzzle stuff, clown stuff, all kinds of cutie patooties. Thank you, Bravo Zulu. And then now, the last sponsor, Great Family Snakes. Surprise, they're here! And if you didn't know from the title.
Glad to be here.
We did it. Okay. Oh, Marshall's here. Marshall, unfortunately, Whitney is not here. She told us to say she's sorry. I guess. Is that all?
She's a little under the weather, so she can't be here tonight. Unfortunately, she's in the chat though. I think she's supposed to be.
I saw her earlier. I thought. Guess not. All right. Maybe she'll pop in later, and then Chris at BNS may also pop in later too, whenever he gets a chance. So let's sort of big picture. Roger and Lori, you just attended and did not vend. Is that correct?
This was a couples retreat for us. It was awesome. So yeah, we did not vend. We thought about it, but our season this year has been a little rough. So we didn't have a lot. We're down to 1 ball python anyway that's for sale. So it would have been a pretty light table.
And then Jason, you and Whitney did choose to vend.
Yes.
Why do you feel like you wanted to vend and not attend when most people are like, we were at the beach having fun? Like, why did you want to be shackled with the burden of vending?
We enjoy the shows. We wanted to, and also we had a lot of hatchlings to sell. So we were hoping that we get a lot of sales there. So took them all down there and trying to get rid of them. But
okay. Before we get into like how you did, I guess, how was your feelings of how you signed up for both the class 3 and how you signed up with Wayne to vend? Do you want to describe that process a little bit, since it's
sure with Wayne? It was pretty easy. About a year ago, right after last year's show, I was looking at the website, and just emailed him to try and get sign up for the next one, and he pretty much called me right away he replied to my email and said call me, and that was it. So I was like, okay. So I called him, and all he wanted to do was make sure I wasn't going to bring a bunch of roofing or house siding, something weird like that. He just wanted to make sure we had reptiles. And so once I said that we were just bringing ball pythons, he said, okay.
Did you have to pay then?
No, he actually said So since it was way early, he said, email me again in February, and that's when you can sign up. And so that's when I just emailed him in February, and he said, okay, you're in. It's basically first come, first serve for that show.
Okay.
And then for the permits, that was really confusing. On the website, it basically says you can sign up for the ESC or fill out this other paper, which turned out to be the import permit. However, you need both, which I found out at the show when FWC came over and said, hey, we don't see your import permit. And I said, oh, I have one. And I was trying to find it on my phone, on the email, and it was really nerve-wracking because I couldn't find the email, and he was just standing there like, and Whitney was trying to be real friendly with him, And
yeah, bless her heart. You got to work it sometimes.
She didn't know, but she was just trying to be friendly with him, and he was not having it until I found that email, and then he was like, okay, and then he started to be a normal human being again, I guess. But yeah, it was kind of nerve-wracking. But
so, would you recommend somebody like print them out and bring them in a folder so that because they're, I don't know.
Yes, for sure. Next time, we're definitely gonna have them on our sign, like displayed for everyone to see.
I can only say
there they are.
I can only imagine how that would have gone, Jason, if I was watching your table when he came by, because I'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
And then so there was a table directly across from us that they got asked to leave because they didn't have their import permit apparently, and I found out that there was 12 people got kicked out because they didn't have their paperwork.
So I guess Wayne probably doesn't have time to be like, hey, you're walking in the door, can you just show it to me before you set up and waste your time? Well, I guess. There's
when you register,
tables or something.
When you register, you have to turn in an inventory sheet and your license, your ESC license.
When you register for the show or register for your class?
For the show.
Okay.
When you check in to get your badges and stuff so that you can go in.
All right. Can I play devil's advocate? Is this too much work? Or did you think it was worth it to still vend and not attend?
I think it was still worth it. The work, it was a little bit stressful, but once I went to, so this is how I ended up with both, because I went to the website. I guess this is a new process for the FWC this year, where you fill out your application for the ESC online. So the website there is really complicated, but once you find the application, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a lot of questions, very detailed stuff. And I think it's mostly geared towards people who live in Florida, because they want to know where you are, what emergency number you have, what emergency plan you have, or at least that you have an emergency plan. I don't know why we need to have an emergency plan for ball pythons, but there's a bunch of stuff that you have to fill out. And a lot of it, I just kind of said, I'm not from there, and kind of made something up real quick. And I got a response pretty quickly also, where they just said, you're out of state, you're fine. Right. And however, that went straight to my spam folder. So I didn't know I had it. And so I was like, I started getting nervous, and I went back to the NRBE website, and they said to do this or this. I was like, I'll just do both, because
cover your bases.
In case I don't have the ESC, I'll have this at least. And then, so I filled that out, emailed it to the FWC. They turned around and got it back to me like within a week. Mm-hmm. So then I just happened to be in my spam folder, and I was like, oh, there's the other thing. So now I have both. I'm like, good. And then,
what is Florida's sales tax like? Their process is like a pain in the ass to apply for their local ID permit number, or blink 4 times if you don't want to answer that question.
I'll figure that out.
Okay.
the state tax will figure that out.
Yeah, like in Texas, they like if you do Arlington or something, NARBC will force you to show them your Texas tax ID code when you come in to prove that you sign up to collect sales tax there before you vend. And then you would have to prove if you were selling like natives or whatever, but I wouldn't necessarily vend that there. But some states have stupid requirements, or like, you're not vending in that state all the time, but you would still have to like, submit your return of 0 sales in Illinois whenever their increment is if you vend Tinley once a year. So I was concerned about Florida, but Florida, you never went there. So it's fine. Won't tell anybody.
Yeah, Whitney just said she thinks she saw something that said state tax is 6.5%, but I'm not sure how we sign up for a permit or anything for or
I
sign
don't
up
know.
to pay the taxes there.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't watch this, I think you're okay. But I didn't say that. Yeah, you'll be fine. I'm sure.
Jason's a smart guy.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. All of my sales almost all of them were on through Square, so there's traceability. So I probably need to figure that out.
All right. So back to Roger and Lori. After hearing all that, are you like, damn, not fun? Just want to go to the beach.
Well, that's
the beach certainly was enjoyable.
So our plan was to maybe spend like half a day at the show and really spend more time out. But we really were at the show almost the whole time that they had VIP access. We wound up volunteering for US Arc and doing some help with their auction, and we watched Jason's table a little bit, helped them set up a little bit. They really kind of had it down, so they need a whole lot of help. But just walk around talking about that place is huge. It's 2 giant rooms. So we were pretty much at the show the whole time either way. But it was nice to have the freedom to be able to leave when we wanted to. We went and got lunch together. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes like with these like event shows, like you almost need 2 days to walk around and really like get the full vibe anyway. So if you're stuck to your table or you can't afford to pay an employee or convince a child to do it or whatever, then you like feel bad and you have to come back, and maybe it's more fun to be free, I guess.
It was nice. Now we do want to be in there probably next year, if we have a little better season. But it was good to go the first time and check it and know how things worked. And Jason let us join him on the setup day, so we got to see how that whole process works, some of the dysfunction, and what does work well, where all the tables were and how the maps work and everything. So we'll be prepared when we come back and do a little less loss.
Yeah.
It'll be nice.
Is there any setup on Thursday, or is it all during VIP Friday day?
So we learned people did set up on Thursday at early registration.
It depends who you know, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a who you know sort of thing.
Because on those big shows, like loadout is always a problem, and I assume load in and load out is hard there because of the location. Because it's I don't know how many doors there are or whatever, and how many people are like jockeying for doors.
It seemed like communication was a bigger issue here than the amount of doors. It had quite a few doors and loading areas on both rooms. So Jason, I don't know if you want to tell me that story.
Yeah, well, when we registered, there was we asked what time we could load in, and they said 9 o'clock, and we're like, all right, are you sure? Because your website says 10, and then they're like, yes, it's 9 o'clock. So we're like, okay, we want to load in right at the beginning. So we showed up at 9 or just right after 9, but it was like, wow, this is easy because there's only about 5 or 6 cars here. And then we parked, and the guy come walking up. He's like, we're not going to open doors till 10. And we're like, what? They said 9. So, and it's already 100 degrees outside. So we're like, we need to get these animals inside. And eventually they let us take them right inside the door and stay just in there in the cooler weather. But they didn't open the doors to go in until 10.
Yeah. picture us outside in the sun with no shade, and it's like 90 plus degrees. Never mind whatever it is in the sunshine, which wasn't a shade. So we were like, are these things going to survive an hour? What are we going to do about this? But thank goodness they decided to let us in.
Okay.
Go into the lobby.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of like dying in the sun, if you were queued up waiting to come in, like as a paying customer, were they dying in the sun, or is it a fast line, or?
There was a inside.
I know it was cash only, so I'm sure that caused.
So they kind of had 4 lines. They had 2 in the middle where you could go in and get your pay and get your bands, and then you went into a separate line to wait. And they had 2 lines. One turned down and went down a hallway in the convention center, and the other one turned and you had to go outside. And so I heard one of the security guys telling people as they were choosing which line to go in, like, okay, if you go to this line, you now have to go stand outside in the heat, or you can go to this line and go stand down the air-conditioned hallway.
I know which one I would pick.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, I also heard it was quite warm in the whole building, not just because it's Florida, but human bodies and stuff. And so like 85 in certain or more.
Yes.
Would you agree with that? Because that's technically like almost a dangerous temperature for some.
They seem to have air conditioning problems. Someone told me that the air conditioning was only in the hallways outside the rooms. I don't know if that was accurate, but it certainly felt that way.
Yeah. Was the older side hotter than the newer side?
I think room 2, where they put the newer breeders, was a little warmer.
Yeah,
okay.
Probably.
Did you see anybody like being like, I don't know, like crested geckos, New Caledonian stuff? They can't stay sustained hot for a long period of time. I don't know, were they like doing stuff to cool it down, like running cool packs behind their display?
I didn't notice anything special.
Okay, so maybe it was fine enough.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I know you said 85. If it got to 85, I'd be surprised. 80, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, the second day I heard that they had the back room set at 75 was what the air conditioner was set at. So it was a little warm, but it wasn't too bad. I thought I heard that the back room was cooler than the front room, just probably because there was more crowded in the front room, but maybe not. I just stayed in the back room most of the time. We were back there.
It's making
Marshall says he thinks the AC was not functioning properly because normally it's much cooler. So it might just be like some shows are like they're going to be a swamp fest, so like you better bring an extra pair of clothes or something, because like the facility sucks. But if it's like it was going out, then that's maybe different for next year. Maybe it'll be fixed.
It was definitely much cooler in the hallways than it was in the rooms.
Did it smell? Let's be honest.
I did not get unless you were walking past some really potent people.
I mean, that could be a form of.
Overall, the rooms didn't stink.
Yeah, we had a little rough flight over there with some of the people we're sitting next to, but no, I think the rooms are right.
Oh man, no, I don't know. The last show I've been to, it was straight up barnyard grunge by the end, and I was like, not for me. I don't know why anybody would want to buy anything in this sort of like stank setting.
No.
Oh man. Oh yes. Chris says some people smell. Yeah, I mean that's any D&D or Magic the Gathering convention or reptile show. There's a little bit of that. That's fine. I can deal with it.
Convention anywhere, even if it's a professional, medical convention or whatever, there's going to be some funk. Absolutely.
Right. Bless everybody's hearts, especially down there. It's hot.
Yeah.
So you'll go through the trouble of doing it. Do you think like a ball pythons were selling, and this is for Jason, but maybe like your guys' perspective of what other vendors said, do you think ball pythons were selling well? Was it like a pet show or like a mid show? Because there's like so many old hats there that are like bringing in their own clientele for their weird Galubrid or something. Those aren't necessarily like ball python customers. So that's a person through the door, but they're not your customer really. What do you think about like the customer base?
I'll go first. So I thought it was a pretty average show. Like it wasn't for us, we do a lot of local shows around here, but I think it was pretty similar to that. And I think it was, for us at least, it was a pretty pet heavy show. All of our sales were basically pet by ball pythons, and they love to look at our higher end ones, but then they were like, oh, that's pretty, and then keep on walking. But yeah.
Yeah, so I went around, I got to go around and talk to a lot of people, and it seemed like people thought it was a good show. I wouldn't say anybody said it was a great show, but people seemed to be paying their trip, which made them happy because then they got to kind of hang out for free. That was the sense I largely got from it.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's okay, like to be happy about that. So like that, like I've been like, obviously struggling with shows and being like, if there's something else to do in the town that makes it truly like a little like getaway thingy, then great, right? What, like herping, adventure, meeting a friend, going out to dinner with somebody, like all those are great reasons to have like a little getaway weekend that's sort of half paid for by the business. I'm in. But like, so Daytona makes sense in that way, for sure. But you kind of want to like incentivize it by like knowing what to bring the next time.
There was a good selection. I was kind of surprised by that. So when we go to Tinley, I think it's primarily ball pythons. You see them everywhere, and there was ball pythons, but there was a lot of other stuff too. I mean, it was really cool, from red-eyed crocodile skinks and all sorts of geckos, crested beardies, and all sorts of other stuff. A lot of bug people, a lot of plant people. We saw all sorts of boas and
so many turtles.
Yeah, a lot of turtles. The thing that you don't see there is the stuff that's illegal in Florida, and so that of course reduces your selection a bit compared to some other shows. You're not going to see reach out reptiles there, and some of that stuff.
It's interesting. There's a lot of turtles. I guess it's because they can breed them outside there, so they're just like, well, I can just make 1,000, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were right next to a turtle vendor, and they seemed to be doing pretty good.
Was anybody doing like novel sales techniques? Like I saw Altitude Exotics went to Flawless Cresteds and like mystery boxed his stuff for him or her, or like for the couple.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so they were like, I'm just going to mystery box your stuff for you and sell it. He was being like a team player, or they were like doing it, but it seemed like he was doing his stuff just to be like fun, have fun with it. So I was wondering like how much of that sort of.
I didn't notice that. We got a pretty good picture with somebody dressed as like a dinosaur. I was like, well, that's unique. And Lori was all over it. So I
thought it was great.
I don't know, Jason, if you saw anything like that.
She's back.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yep, I got her signed in.
Okay.
That's what I was doing over here. Sorry.
No, you're doing great.
Yeah, I didn't see any sort of gimmicky stuff, except for I did see pictures of that the guy in the costume that you mentioned there.
Yeah. The guy whose table was the most full, so doing the US ARC stuff, where we were going around and we're hitting people up to see what donations they got and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The table that we just could not get to was actually a bug guy table with a bunch of beetles. And he had this giant, like, I don't know what it's called, rhinoceros horn beetle that he had out. And he was just flocked it all night. That thing was pretty cool.
It's cool. It's like an interesting like business model to be like, instead of doing what's popular because you have like a customer base built in by other people, you're the one person who makes something popular or whatever. Like, I'm going to be the rhinoceros beetle guy now, or whatever. So it's also like another sales strategy potentially. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, I wanted to shout out Adam Shura. I went to him at least once to ask him about his deli cups. I said, "Hey, you're the deli cup guy, right?"
We all know he wants to be known by that.
It was pretty funny. And then Whitney did the same thing. So
you gotta give him a hard time about his deli cups. He said he's not selling as many because they last too long, so people just wash them.
That's interesting. Yeah, you should sell like bad ones that like
that's what I told him
on the bottom.
That's exactly what I told him. Exactly what I said. Just poke some holes in a couple of random ones and then You got a faulty product, they need more.
So we've been to a lot of shows. I mean, I say a lot of shows. We've been to a few years, right? We've been to Tinley several times in Arlington and a lot of local stuff, and now Daytona. This was definitely the best one for meeting people that we knew online. I see Chris on the line, Marshall, Kevin Barron was there from Reptiles. A lot of folks actually watch your stuff. So we've been on Proper Royals. Lori and I have been on Green Room Pythons. We've been on Snakes and the Fat Man a couple times. But everybody we ran into that recognized us was from this show. So you've got a good group of people, out there.
Oh, thank you. Was Bob down there? Bob
Babu.
for Green Room.
No.
No, I don't know if this
Is he going to Animal Con?
I would think so. I don't know. The last video I saw, he was actually up in
Snake Discovery.
The snake
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you like this one better than? Do you like it better than Tinley or Arlington because it's more friendly, or the other one's better to buy snakes at? I don't. You know what I mean? Like, how do you split that up?
I guess it depends what you're looking for. So, I mean, if you're a ball python person and you just want to see ball pythons, go to Tinley. But if you want to sell ball pythons, maybe maybe Daytona's a better choice because it wasn't as flooded with that. It seemed to me just as big. I think the auction was bigger than what I'm used to seeing at Tinley and Arlington. These other places, it was just massive. And then you got the beach, right? Like, how can you pass that up? So if we only went to one show next year, it'd be Daytona for sure.
Wow, really selling it. What about you, Jason?
I'm a big beach person, so it was easy.
I mean, it's helps to be a destination show.
Oh, absolutely. There's not a lot to do up in Tinley, so
Right.
Yeah, we went to Tinley in March, and it was cold, and we did go into Chicago and see Chicago, but it was cold.
It's an hour and a half drive down there because the traffic's so bad.
It wasn't bad when we were driving around for some reason, but I'd liked if I was just going to a show to go to a show between the two, I'd probably go to Daytona because there's more space. Pretty much the same. Same with my favorite vendors, were at both shows, but there was a lot more space in Daytona than Tinley.
Yeah.
Whitney says, I liked it better than Tinley, and I mean location, the line was much better to stand in, and the people were friendlier. That's true. When it's warm out, people are generally happier. Even if they're hot, they're still just like, let's just air it out. When they're cold, they're like, ugh.
Yeah, the aisles are wide as heck. I mean, you could drive a car down the middle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're 20 feet wide.
It's incredible. But in Tinley, you're shoulder to shoulder, everybody trying to see something over their shoulder. You can't tell what's going on the tables, and it wasn't like that.
So if Ed and Emily wanted to go down to Daytona and make a line going down the center of road,
you could still see the tables.
You could still see the tables and walk around.
Nice. That's a perk. Last time I checked,
it was easy
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you're selling me. I still don't think I would ever vend yet. Maybe.
I don't think you should
go down just to hang out, see it next year.
I think you should do the
make your
back rack table and do a live down there, and let people talk to you. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm such a baby. I'm like, oh, it's 13 hours. Ugh. But Tinley's technically closer than so if I was gonna suffer, I could suffer slightly less.
So fly down there, and really treat yourself. We got a convertible Mustang and drove around with the top down.
We spoiled ourselves as vacation for sure.
Okay, so how much day drinking is there? Let's be honest. You don't have to say who did it or how much. Oh, okay. We didn't have to say.
I have no problem admitting what I did.
That was a lot of drinking.
Do they have a bar in the event, or do you have to go outside to a restaurant?
They did, yeah. They did in the event.
Do they have margaritas?
It was.
I didn't get one at the event. You did.
Well, they had beer and cocktails. They probably could make a margarita. I didn't ask them, but
with
they didn't have
umbrellas in it and fruit.
Limited.
I just want to.
But there were bars everywhere. I mean, you can go just walking up and down the boardwalk and hit 12 of them, if you want to. I think the thing that I would do different is not bother getting a car. and just Uber down there because there was really no reason to leave. We were plenty to do down there.
Oh, so that's good though. Like if it's very walkable town.
It's very walkable.
Yeah,
Did
it's not
you? Sorry, Jason. Go ahead.
bad. Yeah, I was just said it's not bad. If you don't mind the heat and humidity for walking. But I'm sure there's plenty of Ubers down there too.
Yeah, I mean, I was really into the convertible because I haven't driven one really since I was 20 years ago when I was in college. So we did a lot of driving, but it was not necessary. Like I just didn't want the convertible to sit out there in the parking lot and say, "Man, why'd I buy that thing? Rent that thing."
Did you end up like leaving the city to herp at night, or were you too like sun-stroked out, half hungover, and wanted to go to bed immediately and all like tapped out emotionally from talking to hundreds of people? What do you think?
Well, we didn't do a lot of herping necessarily. We went and found a national park that was awesome. And I saw a lot of turtles there and kind of walked around. And so we were a more beach going
Mode. Okay. Yeah. Jason, were you just sleepy from having to like shill ball pythons all day to families that were confused about why they were there?
No, that was pretty fun. I like talking about ball pythons and stuff, but we stayed busy the whole time, all day into the evening. But mostly the evenings were our family time. Whitney has got some friends down there, and she came up. One of them came up to see us, and we had dinner one night, and we hung out with Roger and Lori. I think two of the nights we kept it pretty low key, but we went back to our camper pretty early. I think both times.
Oh, camper, that's smart.
Yeah.
Was there a campground walkable or near the hotel, or
No, it was about a 15-minute drive every time, so it wasn't bad.
okay, that's still okay.
Yeah, while we were there, we did find one like on the beach, but it was about a 30-minute drive. So that's what I would recommend for people who want to take their camper. If they're, especially if you're leaving people behind, take that 30 minutes, let them hang out at the beach. So yeah, we didn't take our kids this time. We've taken them other times. So we were really doing the couples thing. But a lot of people had their kids. I gotta say, I think Chris is on here. Him and his wife were impressive as heck. She's running around there with two little boys, helping USR collect stuff, doing all kinds of, meeting people, doing the whole thing. And
I'm old. Sorry, Chris.
there he is. All right,
You were hidden beneath my.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, he joined us there one night too. So
I was
the
like,
group you got here.
She knows I'm back here. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. All right, Cuddle Time asked about really quickly table cost versus Tinley and maybe the profit margin for the clientele. Because I know a lot of people go to Tinley and sell nothing. It's just very competitive. What are your thoughts on that, everybody? Start with Chris.
I heard that the tables were $300. I don't know if that's true. And then I heard they were getting people for electric, and if you were using so much, I think it was like a flat rate. Jason, you'll know what this was, but that's high. I mean, our local show's $80 for a table, $50. So yeah, I thought it was a little high, but
yeah, it's definitely high. So, table was $300. The electric was $96 plus tax, and you get one pass, one vendor pass, and if you buy more, they're $20 each. So
one vendor pass per table.
Well, I think it's per vendor.
Per vendor.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was per table because I only got one table, so I got one pass. But I don't know if I got two tables, would I get two passes? I can't remember.
So did Whitney have to buy a VIP pass?
No, just buy a second vendor pass. It's $20.
$20. Okay. So the VIP passes were $100, and we were able to get them the day before, so we could show up with the vendors and just walk right in. So that's worth it to me to get all the extra hours and time with folks. Get the VIP pass, guys.
So you think if someone was to fly in, someone maybe with their name that rhymes with Messica, they should fly in on Wednesday or something and decompress, or Thursday, and definitely go to Friday though?
That's what we did.
Okay.
If you can do that, it's worth it. Now we had to do that. I don't know if you remember one of your shows before. We were trying to book the table, the rooms at the Hilton, and they were $350 a night because they were sold out at the block rooms, but then you're kind of challenged. Well, if you book 6 nights, it's still available. So we did that. And so with the extended vacation, it was.
I mean, that's a good pro tip. Like if you happen to mess it up somehow, like you might as well just go slightly longer and hang out.
I mean, it was the same price to stay in 2 or 3 nights, so we got to enjoy it longer.
Yeah, it was nice.
Chris,
Yes.
what did you buy, and when are you sending it to me?
I picked up a new bull snake, a Hanneman Hypo. 66% had white-sided and patternless. That thing is freaking blue. It is wild, man. I've been looking for one of these hypos for a while, and I was shopping around last year, and I just didn't see anything that caught my eye. And I walked past this guy's table, and I literally stopped in my tracks because I wasn't planning on buying anything. Nothing. I found a pair of Jamaican boas Friday night, and I was salivating at the bit, but it just didn't work out Saturday. And then I saw that thing, and I was just like, wow! Like I got.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how. Like, I don't know. Put one in every Petco, in my opinion. It looks amazing. I should probably get a picture. Marshall says it's 2 per table, so that means you guys got shafted, Jason.
Limit 2 per table. I think maybe that's like the one. It looks like he said it again. 1 included in table must pay for second, and that's what we did.
Get you.
What if you have a third friend?
Yeah, what if you wanted to pay for us? That sucks. We got to pay for all the VIP costs. That's the answer.
We could have saved some money, Jason.
No,
Kids under 6 were free. Yep.
he had his too.
But those VIP passes are so worth it. Like Roger was saying, that to go in Friday was that was so worth it because it was even. I mean, I feel like it was a lot more open than a lot of the shows anyway, as far as the aisle space, like you guys were talking about. But Friday was just nice because it felt real relaxed, basically. Yeah. So if you're going, I suggest fly in early, decompress, and just there's a lot of people to see.
Right. Okay, weird question. If you decided you were too cool to stay in the Hilton and you were poor and you wanted to stay somewhere nearby, is it worth it? And you don't have a camper to like Uber from some other hotel that's like, I don't know, up the beach or walk?
A ton of hotels right there.
Okay.
So they actually sold out of the blocks at the Hilton, and they actually reserved additional rooms at something like 3 blocks down the road. So we saw a lot of people, walking from that other hotel.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to walk, you're walking on the beach or can be, so you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, and good sidewalks and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't be concerned about walking. Uber, I wouldn't Uber.
Vagrants, homeless people.
No, it was a lot more than
scary.
Not scary.
Ladies of the night.
I never felt
ladies of the day.
Ladies of the day.
Chris, we saw something, didn't we?
Man,
I never felt unsafe. Maybe
that's
the thing to say.
Never felt unsafe.
Yeah.
Lori, you're the only one with ovaries here. Let me know did you feel unsafe?
Not at all.
Okay.
I thought everything was hilarious. It was great.
Hilarious. That's
Please elaborate. I'd like to hear what was hilarious.
We sent Chris the video too because he saw the lady on the street.
Oh, I saw him live and direct, coming down the sidewalk,
live and everything. Oh yeah.
So the first time we saw naked people bathing was
the first time. There were multiple times.
There was multiple times.
There was multiple times.
The first time was right outside the hotel, right next to the pier. We saw some people just scrubbing themselves between the legs, like not like 2 feet out in the water, and they were just butt naked women. And we're like, they're in their 50s. No one's going out searching them out.
What were they? Did they delousing themselves? What were they doing?
They had pasties, so they weren't like, they weren't showing everything.
Okay,
but they were showing everything.
The people watching opportunities are
so they were unique.
Oh man,
Chris got to see him walking down the street a couple days later.
That was entertaining.
So there was a lady crackhead at the beach, very professional title, in front of us, writing in the sand and talking to herself. Well, as long as she's peaceful about it.
So y'all saw him too. Okay,
that was a different one.
Okay, different one.
That was like right in front of where we had our stuff set up on the beach. So it was kind of like one of us had to sit on our stuff to
So
check it,
I think our ladies were naked and their lady was at least in a swimsuit.
Doodling.
Hers
never
was
mind.
clothed.
Talk about a sandy vagina. Oof.
Yeah.
One thing I like
Unacceptable.
and took a picture of, and I think I noticed was unique compared to other places I've been. They had a lot of signs that said like, don't,
Don't contribute to the panhandling.
Yeah, and I didn't see a lot of panhandling. So we saw a lot of homeless people. Nobody's like, hey, give me money, that kind of stuff,
Were there like buskers doing
There was
naked lady acts on the side of the street? I don't know, like what they busk in Florida?
I mean, we saw some security around, but I think it's just more, they were saying, hey, if you want to help the homeless people, there's ways of doing that, right? There's shelters, there's food banks, there's all that kind of stuff, and that's how you help the homeless people. Don't encourage people to stand on the side of the beach with their hand out. So,
Yeah.
I think that's a good approach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of prostitutes in like Vegas, right? Like a lot everywhere, every corner, and it's fine because they like have their little like social hierarchy or whatever, and I feel like it's normal.
Yeah.
But you don't want them like on bath salts or whatever. Also, you don't want to add bath salts to it.
Right.
So that's what I'm just like. I don't know. I'm really boring. I'm not into the bath salts part of it.
So slightly separate topic. The second time we saw naked people on the beach,
Okay.
as we went for one of our drives, we found out there's a new beach not too far from there, and we discovered it on accident. So, yeah, it's nothing you want to see, but they have one.
More old people. When
People
you
like
get old,
us.
nobody cares.
That's
Right?
fine.
Yeah. It's like babies. They like revert to baby status, and you're just like, that's fine. They're living their best life. They have 2 years left.
Goes full circle.
Oh, yeah.
Danton is concerned that we're talking shit about Florida. I'm just saying Florida man stories have
Wild.
got me shook.
Hey, we're going back. We loved it.
I'm sure it's not like that everywhere too. Probably pretty nice other places.
Yeah.
It's that Florida air, man.
Chris,
Florida
did you
air.
stay in the Hilton also?
Yeah,
Okay.
we booked like 6 months ago, so we got it for all said and done. We paid $850 for the week. We got like half rate. It was only like $130 a night, I think. So if you can get in if you can get in while it's blocked off, that's the best way to do it. You just got to get in early.
Mhm.
Are you thinking about vending next year? And because you drove, I guess, to practice suffering. I'm not sure why you drove, but
We have family in North Carolina, so it wasn't too bad. So we did
Okay.
like 7.5, 8 hour stint the one day, spent the night with grandma and grandpa, and then got up early the next morning and did another 8 hours. So we broke it up into 2 days. So it was a little easier on the kids. But I don't know. Maybe my wife asked me the same question, and I'm like, I don't know. That's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's $400 you got to figure right away. So you want to make it worth it, but I think the experience and the partying and the hanging out was so much more fun than having to worry about vend. If I was going to vend, though, I think I would want to split 2 tables or split 2 tables with somebody. So that way I can duck out, go do stuff, or I can watch the tables while the other guy ducks out and whatnot. But it may be in the future. If I have a good year where I plan, I can have 3 locality boas go and, a good amount of other stuff, not just ball pythons. I think it'd be worth it.
Okay. I don't. Yeah.
That's a
I'm
tough-
convinced to go, not
yeah.
convinced to vend because I am a baby.
I'd go party
as
and check it out
always.
first. And
Don't
then,
yeah. So if you do the whole back rack like live podcast thing, then when you're not at your table, it's not like anyone's gonna take your snakes or anything either. So that's the way.
Right.
Yep.
They might take my stupid sign
To do it.
and use it as a house on the streets.
we'll guard your table. We'll watch after you.
Okay. What about like other like non-live animal sales? Like obviously Florida is a great like plant sort of horticultural, like there's like the house plant capital besides Hawaii and so like were those things crazy where you're like, I want to buy that fucking giant plant?
You should have seen the haul
Yes.
that Jason had to take back.
Jason,
Man.
Jason, you should tell us about your business. Like,
Yeah, speak on this.
All right.
So Whitney works at a plant store and is a plant hustler on the side. Most of our shows, we bring a whole table full of plants, and she just sells those the whole time, just nonstop. But that was one thing she did, was she took a lot of pictures of plants and all of them there and bought all of them all.
Oh.
So that we could bring them back home. But
I mean, was it like a price point where you could wholesale it, or is she gonna like take cuttings and propagate?
Well, yeah, basically it was basically wholesale for us in Alabama, but
Right.
the normal price in Florida, because they can grow that stuff on the side of the road.
Right.
We can or just sell it for $5, and then we can bring it home sell it for more. But so yeah, she made money. She filled up our entire camper full of all sorts of plants. She got me to buy a bunch of trees that were corpse lilies. They were selling those like crazy. You
guys bought like what, 4, 5?
I think I bought 4, and then she bought like 3 more the next day because she found more people that wanted them. But this giant monstera, that was, if you know what that is bigger than me.
Some of them were crazy. Like they obviously been doing great living in Florida, in like out in the open or in a greenhouse or whatever. So like, I mean, that's like something that I think people don't think about is like in the Midwest or whatever. We're not keeping them outside. We're keeping them in a greenhouse under grow lights as long as possible, and like hopefully moving the wholesale inventory as fast as possible before it decays and its little sadness, under grow lights.
Yeah.
But if you can flip them from there, I mean, I go for it. Like I heard stuff about like, because some people will bring in like big lots of cork bark and sell it basically cheaper that you can have it shipped to you wherever you are.
Yeah.
There, because it's coming off of like a giant pallet, so they can sell it for $5 a pound or something, and so you could just buy it and then resell it yourself at your local show that way. Good opportunity there. What about like other sort of business connections? Did anybody like meet somebody where you're like, we're doing a breeding loan or
We finally got our hurricane. I was really excited to meet Dennis. I guess it's Buzzer.
Music.
So from Busy Balls. So he actually imports his hurricanes from Hans in Germany. He's the guy who founded the line, and we finally found hurricanes we really liked. So he didn't have a male for us, so we're going to connect them, get another male, but we got a female from him. It was incredible. Yeah. So that was awesome.
Just like 20 seconds, remind people what, in case they didn't hear that about your plan.
So we have a killer super pastel lorry GHI, and we're looking for the hurricane male to breed with her to make killer hurricane lorries, because my name is Lori. So
you gotta have inspiration from somewhere.
It's named after me.
But what's really cool about that, now I'm going to give it away and other people are going to beat us.
No, you're not. You're going to hush.
Okay. I'm gonna stop about how great that is.
All right. Yeah. Keep it yourself. Yeah.
keep our secrets a little bit longer.
Right. I mean, that's way to like, I don't know, like in a down market, make it fun. Like, I don't know, like it's fine. You're all just snakes in boxes. Like keep it fun, keep it moving, in my opinion. So if that's why people want to buy stuff, just go buy it. Like, I don't know. We get really worked about like optimizing breeding plans, and I do this too. And you're like, I don't like whatever. I don't know. Like half of them are going to be like wholesaled or sold as pets to somebody anyway because they're banana. So it doesn't matter how hard you optimize it. You're sort of overthinking it. So you might as well have fun.
The other connection that I made that was pretty cool. On the plane on the way back, we sat next to
Brian
Hahn. If you're familiar with him, he's the ARS guy. Right? And started ARS, and I buy most of my rats from them or Rodent Pro, and there's other places, but he's one of them that I've spent a lot of money with. And I had a long conversation with him about kind of how he got started, but also how they make sure your snakes aren't get sick because of their stuff and radiation, all this kind of thing. That was really an awesome conversation. He was a really down to earth guy. He definitely won me over as like a recurring customer. So he kind of poked me. He said, "Hey, did you go to the show?" Because I had a U.S. ARC shirt. He just wanted to talk to people and and see what he could learn on making his business better and things like that. It was really great.
It's funny because we talked to him for about 10 minutes.
Did you?
You and me about that.
Yeah.
We did, yeah, but that was different, right? Because that was like show Brian, but on the plane it was just different.
Chris, did you meet any new friends, new connections, business connections?
Not necessarily business or new connections, but a ton of people in person. A ton of people I talk to in the chat or go back and forth on Instagram, and even people that I sold snakes to that are in the chats and whatnot. But to finally get to meet them and talk to them and see them in person, it was pretty surreal, like sensory overload, big time. But not that it's maybe a business hookup, because the guy I bought the bull snake from, I showed him pictures of my clutches, and he's like, "They're available?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Send me a list and prices. I need more bulls." So hopefully that could lead to future business venues. If we wanted to wholesale 10, 15 to them or whatever, I could just goodbye.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably about it. But just getting to talk to everybody and just look around at the variety. It was definitely a lot of different stuff. I expected to see more ball pythons, quite frankly, but there was more just corn snakes. There was a lot of corn snakes. Like you'd be like in a candy store, man. All them corn snakes I saw, I was holy cow. Jessica would be going crazy.
I know. I wouldn't have any money. I'd like have to second mortgage the house just to go.
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's weird how like if a species like gets to an area first, that's what everyone sort of is sympathetic to or whatever. And so like it almost is sort of like a regional patchwork of who is interested in what species, because they weren't all on the internet back then. So because they're native and you could pick them out of the trees, you could have been growing up being a corn guy or gal, but like you wouldn't have necessarily done that if you were in Pennsylvania. They don't exist.
Collecting donations for USARC really made me spread, because as a ball python guy, I mean, we've got Sanzinias too, but there's a lot of stuff we don't know anything about. And so we'd go to a table like, "Hey, we're here to collect anything. If you're donating to USARC, you don't know about the auction, I'll tell you about it." And they'd hand us something. I'd be looking like, "What is it?" Yeah, they'd have to tell me all that stuff to make sure we get it right. It's like I'm a dumb ball python guy.
And then every one of them, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
So Chris did that too, and so we spent, him and his wife, like I said, impressed the heck out of me doing that with the kids.
Yeah, that was fun. It was pretty fun. It was a little hectic on Saturday. I felt like I missed half the show Saturday. I spent most of the day in room 2 because that's where I was collecting, and in room 1 is where like I saw pictures and I'm like, when did this happen? I'm like, oh, that's when we were in the other room all day long. But it was worth it. Between that and the auction at night, it was just fantastic.
All right, before we get into the auction at night, if somebody wanted to volunteer to help USARC, how did you guys sign up, or who did you need to talk to, or did they just corral you like sheep coming and they're like, "You guys, sorry, you have to go"?
We got an email, and I think it was for donors of a certain level, so they knew you weren't like some scammer who didn't care about USARC. But now there was concerns about that. Like we didn't get a shirt, we didn't get a badge. We just like sent around with a clipboard. They gave us a map of the place in a specific region and said, "This is your region. Go collect from these guys." And so I showed up. I put my GFS shirt on because I feel like that's like the most official thing I've got. Right? I was like, "I'm from GFS, so you can look me up."
That's the same way I approached it, and the VIP pass helped too, I think.
Would you like a shirt or badge that like proves that you're collecting for USARC?
I think the vendors would like that. We had
they would know that you're not just like just a dude.
Well, and they said as you're volunteering that you get USARC t-shirt or USARC swag. So to us, like I figured we would get it early so we could put it on, and then people, as we were walking around to collect stuff, they would know, hey, they're with USARC. They're legit people. But they just gave us a clipboard and said that should be enough so that people know that you're legit.
We should be careful not to give scammers any ideas.
I think we should give USARC the idea to give a shirt.
We got a lot of funny looks. Like, are you really taking this like to USARC, or are you taking your car?
We did have to give them a little card for their table that said we support USARC. So hopefully that was
right. That should help. Yeah. I mean, in a lot of these like little rinky-dink shows, no offense, but they like vendors don't have lanyards. Vendor helpers don't have lanyards. Like show sponsors don't have lanyards. USARC doesn't have lanyards. Nobody's decorated unless you came that way. That you were trying to present yourself. So like, I'm glad vendors vendors had lanyards though, right?
They were
correct?
handwritten little green pieces of paper.
You need to do better for $100 VIP pass. Yeah, a lot of that money, all that cash was going right under a rug somewhere in somebody's basement.
Yeah, so
Do the numbers.
Did you have a different color as VIP, or were we just like, okay, you're coming this day and you paid me money?
VIP on it.
I think it was handwritten as well. VIP.
Yeah, so
But
the
it was
vendor
photocopied handwritten.
just had green and ours had handwritten VIP on it.
Some of them have VIP written on them. Some of them.
Not all.
I think some of them didn't. It was just handwritten names.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I understand like that's an extra expense. So that's also like it helps because then you can like funnel VIP to the VIP line. Like maybe if that one's faster or like it's whatever.
There was no line for VIPs. We got to just walk right in. That was good.
Okay.
You're basically vendors without tables.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's good. All right. Let's talk about the auction. Much lauded, I think 119. And,
Yep.
and it was all for you as Arc Florida. They weren't going to split it. So thank you.
No,
Congratulations.
they did. They were splitting
They
it.
split it.
I asked them
Oh,
about.
I thought they weren't. They changed their mind about splitting it.
Well, what they told us, at least as collectors, I don't know what to call ourselves, was that 75% was going to Florida, 25% to National.
Okay.
They have changed their minds afterwards.
I
I don't know.
hadn't heard they changed their minds. So.
I did hear they changed their minds because of the lawsuit. I heard that on, I don't know where.
Well, that was
I
on
talked to too many
Saturday.
people.
Yeah, so that's when they told us the split was
Saturday morning.
collected.
Well, it'd be unfair to change it.
Daniel
Told that.
Parker, paging Daniel Parker.
Dan Parker, by the way, was impressive as heck. They were talking
Oh, yeah.
about so Adam had donated this guitar that he had really like hot rodded and made this really awesome guitar. And to sell it, Dan Parker, he went there and he riffed on it, and it was awesome. So they
I heard it got sold twice.
twice
Yeah.
for over $5,000 both times. Like it was,
That's pretty based. Let's just be honest. Like it's cool, and I'm glad it's gonna like be the new Daytona stick, but it's
Well, I don't think it is. From
maybe.
what
Maybe.
it might, but
Maybe
I don't
not
talk
gonna
to
give
the
it
guy
up.
who won it, and he said that he was just going to hang it up in his wall. It may come back next year.
Yes, he got it.
We don't know.
Yeah.
who got it the last time?
Freedom Breeder.
So
Oh, Jesse. Yeah.
Jesse,
yeah. So
I mean-
after a year, he'll be ready to auction
Yeah,
it off.
maybe. Yep.
Yeah, Adam said that Jesse said that he was going to keep it
Yeah.
and then auction it next year. So like if it can keep coming back around,
It should. Collect.
it makes it fun. And then it's like a joint. I don't know.
You get to sign it when you buy it, when you win
Right.
it too. So that's cool. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a piece of history then.
And I can't remember who got it and donated.
Yeah,
that
who was
a
the
huge
first
thing.
one who bid?
Uh,
Got it. I don't remember.
Eugene Bissett. No, wait.
I thought he sold it the first time because he
First.
won
Yeah,
it at the last one.
He got the first time. I don't know who.
Adam, paging Adam, Sarah.
Yeah.
Wait,
couldn't
I don't
hear
remember.
in the back.
I watched this interview with Adam and Chakra, and I'm like, I'm
No.
listening to all of it and understanding it perfectly, and I forgot half of it already. It wasn't a good day. My husband got neutered today. He's in the chat, so we took him to the pound, got him neutered.
Poor guy.
A little critter. It was my fun day. Sorry, Christopher Hare. I apologize.
Just
You can
give him
divorce
a bag
me.
of peas. He'll be okay.
Yeah, he's fine. He's doing, but bless his heart.
So Jessica, I guess I'll say this first. So it was amazing how many people donated to the auction. Like, so we're in room 2.
Mhm.
Half the people we talked to had never heard of it, and like everybody almost donated to it. It was really cool.
Yeah, people. To me, like you need to do is like reach out to people and tell them something that makes sense, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I don't know." There's something very. I don't know if it's American or just people, but we're like, yeah, we'll help all the time. Like I think if anybody wants to know, like Sal's GoFundMe is up to 50,000, which is great.
So cool.
And hopefully he comes out and he's back running triathlons, right? So like I am very impressed with how positive the hobby is still, even with all the drama llama, whatever. But we're still doing it. We're still a community, and we can stick together and we can have fun. So like good.
So
Cool,
the question
clap.
you should ask is Chris about what happened after the auction.
Oh no! All right, Chris, what happened?
I don't remember.
Where'd you go after the auction, Chris?
No, back to the auction real quick though. Like there was 3 or 4 vendors that like I said, I'm here with US Arc, and they were like, nope, sorry. And I'm like, I didn't even get to say what my name was or what I'm even like talking about.
Oh,
So there was about 3 vendors, and there was one in particular that really made me question just why they were even there, or, you know, maybe they donate other times and maybe once a year they just donate so much, but it was somebody that I don't feel like shouldn't have been just shrugging me off. But like as a volunteer, when you go around stuff like that, like how do you not take that personal? You know, it's tough for me now to, it isn't tough. I can let it go. I'm old enough. I've dealt with enough, but I was a little pushed aside when some people were just like, no, like nothing. Like you can't put a shirt up. How much did that shirt really cost you? $11.49 that you're selling for $25. Like what, you couldn't do anything, a little beardy or something just to donate some money. So that was my kind of whole pitch on it. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe they had bad experiences with US Arc or I don't know, FWC. Maybe they're out of state. I don't know.
Well, not to get too drama, but you know, like because it was split and not necessarily all given to
Florida.
Like, is that? I know they have to pay for the room. Let me be, but like, is it fair or is it okay that someone will be like, yeah, I'll just donate myself? Like, I don't know if they do that. I'm just like giving them that potential out.
Everybody's open to do what they please, and it, you know, I don't remember a face, and I'm not going to hold a grudge against somebody. But at that point in time, everybody else was like on board, but a couple. So that in that moment, it was a lot more shocking. But now to sit back and reflect on it and think about it a little bit more, it's like, you know, all right, to each his own. You know, that's how you got to look at it.
Jason, did you go to the auction, or were you too busy with homeless people near your camper?
We went to the auction.
Okay. Wait, would you recommend the auction? Like, I'm not like a drinker, and I'm a little traumatized by like large numbers of people screaming or whatever.
It wasn't that packed.
Okay. I know like Tinley's like standing room only, and I'm like,
it was a really, really, really big room.
Okay.
It was a big room. There was
it
not
was
a whole lot of yelling. It was pretty.
Right, that's good. Were there scantily clad men or women?
They attempted to make this one more PG-13. They had a couple of items that were surprising, but they warned before they put somebody on there who they thought would say bad words, which was interesting.
Okay.
There was a couple guys wearing really short shorts.
Yeah,
I mean that's okay. I mean, it takes all types, okay, to make a party.
There was also a pretty big kids section where there was a bunch of kids playing in the corner.
Oh, that's sweet, actually.
That's good.
So
yeah, because some places are like, no kids, get them out of here.
Tinley and Arlington, you should not take kids.
Mm-hmm.
We recommend it. Texas just hits different.
Yeah, there was only one thing that they auctioned that was like, kids should probably look the other direction, but and Whitney just sent it to you on the
dildos.
Yeah, she sent a picture if you want to.
Were they like Jello shooters shaped like dildos, or were they like some kind of space heater?
They
were shade.
There was a really big crocheted one, but then there were legit dildos that were wrapped in paper on the live auction table.
Okay,
I spent a lot of time on that crochet because
it's big.
It was pretty big.
It's a body pillow, is what it is.
Right. That's diligence, you know, craftsmanship.
Yeah.
So, how much did that sell for?
It was over $2,000. It was
wow.
Yeah.
And I think
a couple thousand.
Wasn't it Morph Market that won that?
Probably.
I think
Dare Bear.
Yeah.
I think it was.
How was he? Did you get to meet him in person and
I didn't even see him.
and say hi or
Him.
whatever?
I didn't even see him. I didn't see Garrick DeMeyer. I missed half the people that.
Oh, Garrick was down there?
Garrick DeMeyer was down there. He wasn't vending. He was just visiting. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't see any pictures of like his setup.
Yeah.
That's probably more fun.
Modern Reptile did a couple live interviews, and they had Darian on for about 20 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm. I just started watching that, so
yeah, he's in the middle.
You can spoil it or whatever.
Nah, that's all I have to say. We gotta watch it.
Yeah, they did a good job. They're like goofy. They're way goofier than me, which is impressive. You know, as far as like boys go. $2K for the
big crochet.
dildo. Excellent.
That's what I was thinking.
It also came with like a girl's butt.
It was
It
a
came with a
two-piece,
crocheted butt.
but she had a bikini.
Thong.
It
Yeah,
did,
thong.
yeah. It
Okay.
was, it did have a thong.
Why?
Yeah, I couldn't.
All
see
right.
that.
So like we would recommend the auction and the auction is in the Hilton still.
Right.
Is it like upstairs, downstairs, ballroom, or
It's upstairs in a ballroom.
okay? 'Cause I've heard of people getting lost.
It was
looking
big.
for it.
You
Were they
know,
drunk already?
Yeah, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I only got lost. I got lost after the auction, not before it.
And there's a bar active at the auction, I'm assuming, to facilitate and lubricate purchases.
yeah,
Okay.
2 bars with 1 person working it. So just be patient.
Yeah. Really
Okay.
long lines.
Oh, for that bar, so you should pregame, is what you're saying.
All day.
All day. That's not a pregame. That's the game.
Just day drink.
Good morning, and let's just go.
Our bar tab was over $200.
Whoa!
Just that night of the auction?
Every day.
Oh,
That's better.
every day combined, or each day was $200.
Each day.
Oh, blessed.
Hey, drinks are $15 a piece now.
Doubles were pricey. Doubles were pricey.
You need that hip flask, or like a very tiny margarita machine that you can deploy at any time.
That's
I
the
had a waste.
place. There are definitely liquor stores walking distance. So
Yeah.
way to go.
Funny
I
story
had
though.
no kids to take care of. I took full advantage.
Absolutely. After the auction, I was walking around before the silent auction went up. I'm highlighting all the final bids, running down, trying to do my job. And Jeremy Bald comes around and he's like, "Your drink's empty. The hell are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to work here." He opens up this plastic bag and he had a handle of Captain Morgan's rum. Fills my glass up and I'm like, "Oh, cool, pre-mix. All right." Oh, it was straight rum. Like, oh, that was the last drink of the night.
Whitney, did you send it to the Holbach's Instagram? I think she sent me a picture of the penis.
She sent it to our group chat.
Group chat.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I will show this to the audience. Hide your children if they're around.
It's just a pillow.
Chris was working security. I'm surprised he didn't tell you that.
Yeah, he was
Oh.
still volunteering at the
He
auction.
was the
I was
guy.
just watching the door.
We
Stand on chairs, yelling, try to bid on stuff, and they couldn't see me in the back.
our volunteering for USARC ended after we hauled everything across the street to set up.
That
missed
was interesting. So we had so much stuff. We had a caravan of 10 different carts just full of auction items.
It was a lot.
It was a big auction. I think it was nearly twice as big as the Tinley. It was huge.
He said he raised more money than the Tinley one, I think.
Mhm. That's interesting because everyone's like Tinley's the best, blah blah blah. But like, I don't know, the vibes are different.
That's why we went twice last year, but I'm going back to Daytona next year.
Hell yeah. I'm not messing with Daytona. Nope. Make a vacation out of it. I'd rather spend a week down in Florida than in Jersey. So that's what we're
Mhm.
doing.
So, Chris, you wouldn't vend Tinley ever, like if you could?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that because that might be happening this year. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see where Adam takes us. Wherever Adam takes us, we're going. So if we can get in, we're getting in. But I'm just kind of greasing up the machine for Adam to get a table, if you know what I mean.
With lubricant.
Variety.
With Tinley,
Variety.
the problem with Tinley is you cannot get a table if you're a ball python.
Yeah, if you just say
Right.
ball pythons, they're just going to say get in the line with the other 100 people. But if you put down,
Well, I sell corn
Yeah,
steaks and I
you're
can't get into Arlington. So, like, I don't think anybody's getting in any line anywhere. You need to kill a certain percentage of people.
Daytona's available. You get into table.
I'm like honestly, a little stressed about Wayne, bless his heart. Like, I like to like prepare, know what's going on, and I don't write checks. I have to like find my husband's checkbook.
No checks
You have to
accepted.
use your business.
Oh.
Thing about that is you have to use a business account check to get your business name on the list.
Oh.
That was another weird thing that
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd have to pay cash at the door then because
And there was a lot of places. There was a lot at the thing that was cash only.
Cash.
Yeah, but I think you said don't send cash for the table.
We used to send cash for snakes back in the 90s. Why not? Come on.
Yeah. So there was definitely a reputation talking to the breeders about the organization of the Daytona show that could be better. There's
keep talking about something totally normal, and I'll just put this up here.
I think I can't. I can't look at that and talk about something.
It's a nice ombre blue.
It is.
I like that. The balls are blue.
The tip is blue, and then the shaft is white.
What I think is important to know about that picture is that she's kind of holding it in the middle and pointing at you. So it's like twice as tall as what
it's very assertive. Yeah. Okay. And then there's a little butt up here with like a thong. That's nice.
Yeah.
You can see why I went for $2,000.
Yeah.
Very tasteful.
There was a lot of booze along with it too. I think there were like 3 or 4 bottles of different
booze does well. If you're going to donate to the Tinley or the Daytona auction or any US ARC auction, booze with your
stuff
with your donation triples the price. You got to do the booze.
What was the most popular booze you think? Do you think it was like bourbon or something? Something that somebody would drink? Okay.
The Jello shots. Yeah, there were several Jello shot bags that sold.
The cookies always do well. Whoever makes the homemade cookies, sells them for thousands.
So your like responsibility as a volunteer end after the auction?
They'll take what they get. I told them, hey, I'm going to do whatever you want, but when it comes to the auction, I'm there to hang out and drink. So they, ours ended at that point.
Okay.
So they asked for volunteers for Saturday and for Sunday. Saturday it was to collect auction stuff and to help with the auction at night. And then Sunday they only needed like 2 or 3 people to do the 50-50 raffle.
Okay.
They needed 25 people to go collect the donations.
And we barely had that.
Right? We'll do that for like an hour or 2. It took all day.
It took a long time.
11 to 3.
They needed more than 25 people.
Yeah. And I'm surprised at the number of people that volunteered. I thought for sure there would have been twice as many people in that room, but
they asked for 25 and got 25. I think they had we had a registration to sign up for. Yes. They probably capped it out at some point.
Oh, okay.
They might have.
Is there something you think besides like maybe the management stuff? Is there anything else you think like the show needs, like vendor wise, food, or should there be like more stuff for kids to do? I don't know.
More stuff for kids.
Like a coloring station or just something to keep them happy.
Kids corner, touching like touch and feel something. I think would have been cool. I didn't see any of that.
I mean, I don't see those at many shows. I think the only thing you'd be disappointed at if you're comparing it to other shows is just that Florida's got a lot of stuff that you can't vend there. So you're not going to see a lot of different reptiles that you used to see. Yeah, I don't know. Like if I was going to go to town, it could be like girl party time, right? But it would be nice if my husband and child could go and like could have something to do. And I know, Chris, you brought like a couple chidlers and a wife.
3-year-old and 9-month-old and the wife. Yeah.
Were they happy most time, or they started getting hot and bored and wanted to go?
No, the kids did really well. They're troopers, man. Even in the car ride, they did well. Because I kind of delegated the time. Friday we went to the show early, but we left early. Spent a few hours on the beach. Spent the night with them early, and then I was out late every night. I don't think I got in until 2 every night just because there was so much going on. Thursday we were at Universal with Key's crew and Canadians came down. And then Friday we were at somebody ran an Airbnb and we all hung out there. So there was always a party going on each night. But
sorry, Marshall is just fucking shots fired in the chat.
I tried to click on that. It doesn't let me do that.
But I mean, there's always something to do though. Like if you get a hotel anywhere near that Hilton, the Strip is just packed. There's just so much to do, and you can walk to everything.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. Like if you're just like I gotta go, and you just go eat a fun snack or whatever.
Yep. You can just leave. That's what we did half the time. We went to the show in the morning. We're like, we need lunch. We walked 2 blocks to a diner and had lunch and came back to the show. You just,
it's better than Tinley where you have to like get in a car basically to do anything.
Walking distance there.
Nothing.
Walk down the street and go slingshot.
Yeah, so Daytona is definitely better for that. I mean, you're talking about things for kids to do. I don't disagree. I mean, that'd be cool. But I think also, if as long as we're with an adult, send them across the street to the beach. It's like right there.
Right.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah. What else is in walking distance that's not a bar or a restaurant? Is there like Twitters or like music or something like that would make the nighttime, if you weren't already drunk, like Chris, gone. But the other people.
I'm talking too much.
There was so right there by the hotel, there's I don't know, it's a slingshot and one of those little gyrating spinny things. So I mean, if you're into that adrenaline rush, you could shoot yourself up into the air.
Well,
You're right next to a pier that has music. That has
there's live music.
There's a water park. That seems fun. Like a kid.
There's a water park. I didn't see it open, but there's go-karts.
Oh yeah.
Mini ball.
There's a lot of things to do.
Like beachy trap stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drive a little while and you can go to do putt-putt and things like that.
Yeah, right across the parking lot. It's practically out the back door to the show is a park with go-karts on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much to do there.
Yeah.
And there's always herping. There is herping. We went out Monday morning to a park and we saw a wild gopher tortoise. It was awesome. My wife was thrilled, man. She was ecstatic. That made her trip. So we didn't see any snakes though. But a big weird tree frog though too. It like pissed all over when it jumped. It was the weirdest thing. But we couldn't get a picture of it. It was so quick. It was huge. It had to have been like 4 inches in diameter. It was wild.
You don't even have to try, I think, to see a lot of stuff in Florida. I mean, we were seeing lizards and iguanas and turtles and herons and pelicans literally every 2 to 3 minutes. You can almost see a clock flying right by our window in the hotel, just like a flock of them. They were like circling. But I'm talking like 8 feet from our window. I feel like
that was real close. Myself,
did you have to pay more to get? You had a pretty good view.
I think the key was showing up on Wednesday for that one, and I asked them, just give us the best view you got available. And that on Wednesday, Friday, everybody showed up, and you can even get up the elevator.
Right.
I posted a picture of it. It's wild.
Yeah.
We're just sitting there having a drink with Jeremy from Thanks for the Memories, and the people were just right out the door. I was like, "This is why you come Wednesday."
There are cars lined up down the road.
Yeah,
definitely go.
Yeah, it was very packed Friday night.
Yeah. It's wild.
Mm-hmm. Wednesday. This is the pro tips that we need.
Wednesday to Wednesday.
It's a very small space to pull in and unload stuff too. Like their little horseshoe entry. It's very rough
For the hotel.
Yeah, for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you get there, the parking lot is across the road. Like
the self
parking. The cheap parking lot.
Yeah, the self cheap parking.
Which they have. I didn't even know this until we got there. A discount on parking, so it's $20 a night. You have to pay for parking. $20 a night instead of $30, which it normally is. But being part of that block, we got $20 a night. The VIP,
the
valet was $40 a night. So we're trying to get there just to unload our stuff, and we can't get through there because everybody's like waiting on a valet person to come get them. So that was a pain in the butt. So I guess the trick is to park across the street first and just go to walk your stuff up.
So if you were to like Uber, they could just drop you off wherever, like up the street or something random.
Probably.
And it might be like easier if you're coming in later to not get a car.
That $20 a day is another reason to take an Uber instead of renting something if you're flying.
Right.
I wouldn't bother renting.
Unless it's a convertible.
Unless it's convertible. Hey, we got our money worth that.
Yep.
Yeah. The best part of never mind, I'm gonna say it.
I think we're gonna do an Airbnb next year. It's just, the hotel was nice and all, but like our ice machine didn't work all week. I had to go down to Florida to get ice every day. I don't know, just little things. It was just the side I was on. Were you guys on North Tower, or were you on the main?
We're on the south.
We're on the south, and I did hear a lot of comments like, "Hey, it's really frustrating to pay Hilton prices for like a Super 8 kind of hotel." For me, I didn't care. There's a bed. It was clean. It was clean. Like I was happy. I had a good view. Yeah, I don't need much. I think we would have liked to have a microwave. There wasn't. But
oh, no microwave.
No
microwave.
Like I would like consider going just down the row if the the price was similar, and just walk. Like I said, just walk because like who cares?
We had
But
to
is
walk
that too much?
breakfast every day anyway, so it didn't matter. We might as well have been.
Yeah, the hotel had a restaurant that did like a breakfast buffet thing, but it was like $30 a person.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I'm like, no.
Found a
Right.
great diner.
Yeah, the diner down the street was great. We would,
Starlight.
yeah,
Starlight.
Diner, yep.
we had breakfast there every morning.
They knew us.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm messaging a random person on Facebook.
It's just you do you. It's fine. We're here for
At
you.
all possible times. Y'all are having fun.
Like the-
All right,
so
let's go.
our we came in Sunday night from the beach or dinner or something, I don't remember, but our room felt like a sauna. So like our unit, our AC unit had just completely shut down.
That happened at least 3 times.
It was, man, it was hot.
No.
Did you get on the 3rd floor at all?
We were on the
No,
14th.
we were on the 14th.
So you never got on the 3rd floor. I had to go to the 3rd floor for ice every day. So the 3rd floor had their air conditioning duct like out in the hallway, connected to like one of those side vents down the hallway, and it was like literally ducting out in the hallway. It was like, please excuse our appearance. We're under renovation. But I mean, hey, it was keeping it cool though, so they had to do what they had to do.
I mean, bottom line, we'd stay there. Next time. The location.
Does anybody here like fishing? Did anybody like surf fish up at the beach or nearby pier?
There was a pier. Some
There
people
was a lot.
fishing on the pier.
On the pier, we didn't do it.
They were
Right.
fishing.
Usually you have to wake up early in the morning and I don't know. But like half the men I know are like, yeah, I gotta it's crack at dawn. I gotta go go fishing out on the beach. And you're like,
So they
okay.
bite best.
Right. And that's when all the homeless people aren't out doodling in the sand yet. So it's the best of times.
I'm looking at Whitney's comment. That was the worst part.
Friday,
yeah.
one night. Oof.
Oh, it was every day.
I think it was called the rum bar. I
Man,
call it
it
the
was
creek bar.
It should have been a throw bar.
It smelled like vomit in the lobby at that bar downstairs the whole time. And I don't know what caused that. I mean, at some point we thought, well, maybe it's something they're cooking, but there's no restaurant. I mean, there's a restaurant, but the restaurant smelled fine. It was gross.
Know what it was.
All right, now we're just bad mouthing the hotel.
Too much rum.
What about sushi places? All right, now just a list of things I like and whether or not they happen. All right, how much sushi was good and where and when?
It was a good place across the bridge.
Across the bridge.
I don't know what the name of it was, but it was only like 3 minutes away. You probably could have walked to it, but over that bridge is pretty far.
Were there actual Asians working there?
There was, and it was like fresh
Excellent.
rolled. Yes, it was a good one.
They don't have to be Japanese, but I do have a feeling sometimes that there's at least some Asians there. You know, okay, because that's how I feel about it. Everybody.
That should be a good rule.
Although sometimes like the best sushi's made by like an El Salvadorian dude, and you're like, yeah, it's fine, respect.
As long as the
What?
fish is fresh.
Yeah.
Ronin, yeah, that was it. Marshall, Ronin. That's where we went.
All right. Excellent. Was it like a hibachi / sushi thing or
No hibachi. No hibachi.
Good.
It's
I don't
sushi,
like
fresh
that.
roll, yeah.
My husband's always like, yeah, it's fun. I'm like, it's not fun. They're throwing shrimp at my face.
Yeah.
It's too much pressure. I don't know if I could catch it.
It's the same show every time. Look how great you made it all.
Right. We don't need the stupid train again with the onion rings. I get it.
The volcano.
I'm not paying you $25 for fried rice that's been thrown at me. Sorry. I have very strong feelings about it.
We had seafood practically every meal that wasn't there. There were so many great seafood places. We didn't do the sushi thing. I like sushi.
Yeah, I am the one that hates it. You're right.
Yeah, I think our favorite restaurant was Aunt Catfish's.
Was it
That
like
was a pretty good
it
spot.
sounds like Southern style grits and what was the best? Did anybody
yeah.
have like shrimp and grits anywhere? Did they not do that in Florida?
They had grits at the Aunt Catfish's, but it was cheese grits. You could
No
probably
shrimp?
order shrimp grits. Shrimp and grits.
Like we used to vacation in the Outer Banks. I don't know. I guess it's like the right combination of like South and whatever mid-Atlantic-ness that it's like half South and half, white trash or whatever. So they're all about shrimp and grits. So I usually
That's a good spot.
right. All right, now we've just talked about like food sampling. Is there any other story we missed? Like it was Sunday dead. I heard Sunday was dead. Nobody was there. What do you feel about that?
We were there for a little bit, but then we dipped out. Yeah, we went to the beach.
How'd it go Sunday, Kristen or Jason? Did you sell a lot of stuff?
We sold 20% of our sales on Sunday. One snake.
Yeah, Sundays are always like that, but I noticed this at Arlington. Like most people were gone, like that had flown in to have fun. They were all like Roger and Lori. They're
on their way back home.
Way gone.
No, we left Tuesday. Our Monday night, 7 p.m.
For Arlington, we left on Sunday.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Arlington, you missed us.
My one regret from Arlington.
Well, I needed to put in my application that will never get fulfilled ever.
Now Sunday evening though, it was like crickets in the hotel, man. It was like, where'd the party go?
Oh, she left Chris behind.
So we found some cool stuff. I think going down there, you find out what other people are good at that you might not know. So like we went to Josh Harvin's table and got these little, I don't know if it's showing. You guys see it? Focus. It is a thermometer magnetic probe that they made that they were charging $2 for. So I bought all of them that they had, and it holds your probe on the heat tape, and it's pretty darn cool. And I'm gonna tape it too still.
Instead of having tape, they were having issues with the tape coming off.
So it's magnetic to hold on to the small amount of copper or whatever is in the.
Interesting.
Yes.
So if you got like an ARS rack, you can just put the probe in here. It
that would make that part way easier because that's like a big metal sheet.
Yeah, there's like magnets in here.
Yeah.
So we don't have that. We have PVC. So he gave us that, which goes underneath the heat tape, and then we'll still put the tape in it. But this thing is strong as heck.
Is it strong?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pulling it right now. There it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. So I'm thinking, hey, I've got now 2 layers of protection. I'm buying every one of those for $2 a piece. You kidding me?
Interesting.
So, but I mean, it's things that you wouldn't think of. You can see that on the work market. You're gonna see that stuff online. And then he makes these really cool like plaques that say like U.S. Arc Supporter or your business name or stuff like that are plastic.
Yeah, the little acrylic light up.
You see people in sequels. You got to go out there just.
Oh, Whitney says you also sold a leopard gecko.
Yes,
Sunday.
yeah, Sunday. We sold out a guy on Sunday too, but so it was pretty slow. But it was
that's Whitney's stuff.
Where's the Buc-ee's?
When that happened.
I disagree with that comment.
Oh no! Shots fired.
There was one right in St. Augustine, I think. Right? Is that the closest one, or?
I think it was.
I don't know. We
closer.
I think it was only about 15, 20 minutes out of Daytona. We stopped there for breakfast on the way home.
Nice.
You didn't like your Buc-ee's experience?
The beaver wasn't there dressed up, so that was my first thing.
Oh, you had the beaver on auction night.
I wanted a picture with him, and then what was the other thing? The sandwich I got was just wasn't good. It was the not short rib, brisket. I got a brisket sandwich. It was like all fat. I must have got a bad one. I don't know.
We had a similar experience at the barbecue place that's right there. I don't remember the name of it.
Hog Heaven.
We're all fat, and then we both got sick. It was like
really?
Real sick.
Oh no!
We didn't feel good that night.
Too much fat. Yeah, I had a good meal there. Huh? Interesting.
I don't know about Buc-ee's. Like, it's fine. I think it's like one of those things where it's sort of hit and miss. I just like, there's some gas stations you stop like up and down 95. They're like, you're like this. I'm scared, but I'm in because it's like it's got a smoker in the back, and there's collars somewhere with pork loin in it or something, and you're like, and he's like, I got smoked ribeyes. Do you want them? I'm like, yeah. Yes. And then smoke rings like this. Like, that's my idea of a good time. I haven't been to Buc-ee's yet. I live near a lot of Buc-ee's, and I was traumatized a little for you when you told me you had a sad brisket sandwich. That was very upsetting.
I'll try it again.
Okay. You could get their nuts?
No, I'm not a big nut fan.
Like many forms of flavored nut?
So much. I'm more of a jerky kind of guy, so I
Okay.
didn't try that either.
Ew.
So I have to go back.
All right, I am wearing a Donovan Winterberg's fuck FWC shirt. What was it like them
Should have
being
worn
there?
it there. That's where you messed up.
I don't want to get tased, bro.
If you're not vending, if you're vending, I'd be worried about how you're gonna survive.
We heard them harass Jason earlier. I don't know if everybody heard that story, but like, I don't know. Were the plainclothes ones that are like tucking in their plaid shirts into their khaki pants and not pretending to be plainclothes, were they hilarious or what? Did you put signs on their back that said like "kick me" and then run away real quick?
I didn't see any.
Oh, you didn't see him?
I didn't see it either. I saw the electric guys like going around, and because there were some people that were having electric issues or having to pay more because they were using more than they were.
How did they determine that?
or
Also,
something.
like, did they literally plug it into like a meter reader and go like, "Oh, you're drawing
Yes.
this many watts per minute, so I have calculated that you have exceeded your allocation."
Yes, they did.
$100. Okay, that
But-
part's crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was wild. They looked at my setup and they're like, "Well, you should be okay. Let me just check to make sure." And pulled out this watt meter and plugged my plug into it and was like, "Whoa!" That was
Yeah.
that was shocking.
That's the
Like,
only show I've ever heard of that does that.
yeah.
Would you
Crazy.
not want to bring like next level displays because they have heat tape and it's kind of hot in there anyway, and just
Yeah,
let
you
them
don't need
run? Or were people doing that, or how were people like exceeding the wattage amount?
So
Just sheer number of lights.
the thing that somebody pointed out is if you have those bright bulbs, you put the bulbs like
Mhm.
100-watt bulbs on top of like where they use them on the turtle
Or like
tubs
turtles,
or-
yeah,
those are kind of ones that they use a lot of power. So
right. Because our goofy little LED over like a snake acrylic, what is it doing? Like 10
Yeah.
watts an hour or something?
well, we had 3 next level displays and we were using 64 watts.
With the heat plugged in or not plugged in?
It was plugged in.
Oh, okay. So that was fine. All right, that's good. Good to know that you could keep it plugged in. So how many watts do you get in this rationed hellscape future world where electricity is not bountiful?
I can't remember. I think it was either 100 watts or 500 watts. The low end of the.
Okay. Was it like a day or per hour? Like, how did they judge you?
It's just watts. It's not like watt hours or anything like that. It's like
The
amount
watts
of energy.
we don't know.
Does that make any sense, though?
Mhm.
Oh, maybe he didn't want the current draw to be
Yeah.
more. Okay, so it wasn't like a total usage problem. It was like if you're what is that, amperage? Do we have an engineer in the chat?
That's what we need.
Paging an electrical engineer.
I think a watt is a watt hour, right? Isn't
I'm an
that-
electrical engineer.
Okay.
Is
All
it
right,
watt?
Jason.
Okay, yeah.
Not the time to admit that.
It is basically how much. It was just how much amps, but they said it in watts, which is
But they were wrong, is what you're saying. So next time you should correct them obnoxiously, right?
So the electrician.
Bring your work badge or something and be like,
Yeah.
flash it.
Oh, it was the question that was bad, Jessica. That was our problem.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I was breaking snakes. My God. All right. Books. I don't do anything of actual values to society. My God. Okay, so Sunday, pretty mid sales. That like agrees with other things I've heard, but you're there, so you might as well keep going, right?
It was that much
Hmm.
slower. Like,
Yeah, you have to.
You could tell by looking around. There was just a lot more space on the floor.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there are like timing issues, like last year where he was like, "Everybody go home," and it's not the end of the show. Did any of that stuff happen, or were they cleared all that up?
that was so Friday. I think Friday and Saturday, or no, yeah, Friday, Saturday they did like a 30-minute warning, and then a 10-minute warning, and then 5 minutes. They just turned off the lights, and because they were like, you have to be out by 5, and you're
Including
done.
vendors.
Yeah, everybody.
Okay, so
And
you
then
had to
on-
like kind of half pack up like or cover your tables or whatever.
Yeah.
While
you have to be
they were
ready
still
to
open.
ready to just finish up and walk out at
Okay.
at 5. And then Sunday they let people start tearing down at 4:00, and then after 5, when they announced that it was over, they just they kept it open pretty good until everybody was
Okay.
out. So it wasn't a rush on Sunday to get out. So
And
that
was
pretty
load
good.
out like pretty smooth, or were there like like enough doors? Because like load out's almost worse than load in sometimes because everybody's like, I gotta go.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
they're like,
I was nervous about that too, but by the time we got everything packed up and out, there was like nobody. So we didn't take very long to pack out, but I think we may have talked to a bunch of people and kind of slowed us down to getting out, but that was fine. There was zero wait. We actually walked out the front door, which I don't think we were supposed to do, but the back doors were farther away from our car than the front door. So
okay.
And they just let us drive right up to the front door with our truck and load it up and go. So it was pretty smooth.
I heard they were really good about leaving cars for loading and unloading. Adam said they were real good. They weren't worried about pulling anybody, like towing anybody away or anything like that. So it was a plus.
Vendors had to pay for parking though. That surprised me a bit.
You bought a hotel room and you still had to pay for parking.
Well, I guess if you're at the hotel, you're close enough. You just park there.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't stay at the hotel, so I had to pay for parking. Apparently, another $20 for the whole weekend.
So Jason, do you think it's worth? I know I asked this earlier, but now that you've like thought about it and suffered through the last hour and 36 minutes, would you vend again, or do you think it'd be like worth it? Like, what's the cost benefit analysis with the camping and the homeless people, but the fun, and then you like tally it up?
Yeah, I think. I think we'll definitely vend there again.
Okay.
I think it's worth it.
It's resounding. He said it, so we got to do it.
Nice.
Maybe a closer, different camping location.
Yeah,
Not closer.
I liked our camp spot.
Well,
but,
I meant like closer to the beach.
if we go right to the beach, that'd be cool too.
Mm-hmm.
But I will. I think I'll ask Wayne for a front room spot. But if I get in the room in the back room too, I'd still do it. I think that a lot of people are talking on all these podcasts about how they talking to everybody. You get the sales afterwards and stuff. But I mean, no one's called me yet. But I did hand out a crap load of cards, and a lot of people started following us on Instagram and Facebook and stuff already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I think that's worth it, getting your name out there.
The rooms were pretty interesting because you had room 1 and room 2, right? And room 1 was largely the bigger breeders that have been there a long time, and room 2 was largely the newer breeders. So for example, we did 2 different, I don't know what you call it, but groups of tables for the USR collection. Room 2 took us like 3 or 4 hours because we had like 50 tables, and that was like 50 vendors. Room 1, we had like 50 tables, and it was 6 vendors. Yeah, so it was like way fast because there were all these big ones. Tables, but it was surprising because over in room 2 we did have people like Canova or Clutch was over there in room 2. I don't know exactly why that was, and so that was interesting. There were a couple of bigger ones over in room 2.
Yeah, Clutch and Rice Reptiles there.
They only had 2 tables each, and Canova had no snakes. It was just Summer behind a table with a computer.
Clutch,
Yeah.
And RGI was over there, and Raul, we got to hang out with them. But they had no banner. Like, we looked for them all day Saturday. I could not find them. And then finally on Tuesday, because I knew they were with Chad, I was like, well, Chad who? Like, their Sunday. So I was like, Chad who? Who's Chad? And finally somebody told me it was with Raul. I was like, okay, I can find them because I don't know tables.
So he didn't have a banner, but he had a table? Or was it just
Raul had a banner.
He was sharing a table with Raul.
Okay.
But RGI, I had no idea they were there. No.
I didn't. So Raul had a banner on the table, but it was like the lower.
Yeah,
they didn't have the big one.
Their tablecloth had Raul's written across the front of it, and that was really the only advertisement for Raul's that there was. They had a bunch of stuff on the table, but they didn't have a banner or anything like a lot of the other vendors did. They didn't have a back banner.
They were
Yeah, he's just living his best life, Chad.
Oh, yeah.
honestly. It's just like, let's go, and he just has fun, right?
that was some of the best conversation we had. They really had time for us. It was cool.
It was nice.
Thank you, Chad. VetDNA.com for all your testing needs.
Respect. I think founded RAL, or he's retired now, but he was one of the main or original RAL guys, and it was great that he was there, just kind of hanging out. Pick his brain a little bit.
Is this like the end of Ben's whirlwind tour type thing, and he's going back to? Did he comment on the testing? Because he was just in Pomona too.
Yeah, so Ben was in Pomona and Sean was at Daytona.
Okay, all right.
Ben was not there.
Okay.
And Sean does a lot of the customer service behind the scenes stuff. He's really a bigger part of it than we see because YouTube has been. But he was able to give us a lot of inside baseball. That was pretty cool.
All right, I think we did it. Any other final thoughts? We have two, a definitely go, a go, but maybe not. Maybe vent. Maybe I can't do this. Roger and Lori are vend and go. Chris is go but not vend, and then Jason is go and vend. Is this a correct final position?
Go and vend, or go and have fun and then go and vend.
Right.
I was a little nervous about vending the first time I went, but I'm fine with it. But if you're a little nervous, I say just go and check it out, and then seeing is believing, and then you'll say, hey, that's not too bad, and then vend.
Yeah, I spent about the same amount of money to vend the Fort Worth Reptile Nation show, and I made money, but I lost all of it, and it was not on a beach. Okay, there weren't anything to do, and I still had to be in a downtown with an expensive hotel cost of living and just do nothing. So might as well do it at a beach. I don't know if I'm gonna lose money. You know what I'm saying?
It seemed like a great place to take kids if you're not vending, but it's right in the middle for us of the school year, so that's is what it is.
All right, everybody. Really quick, go around. What do you have for sale and where they can find you, and then we'll sign off this puppy because we did it.
Is it me?
We currently have one from last season that is on Morph Market.
$190.
$190.
You want to get a great family snake? Now's the time.
We have some Desert Ghost Xanthic. Hopefully going to pip over Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, we have one good clutch coming. There'll be a Xanthic head Desert Ghost with some pinstripe, inchy, and pastel.
Yeah. Sweet.
All that.
Great family snakes, everybody. All right, Jason, you handed out cards? Now let's get some more cards. So give us your speech.
Yeah, we got a bunch of hatchlings. This year we got our first pieds. We had a really cool Het Desert Ghost clutch that stumped everybody at the show. Everybody thought they were visual Desert Ghosts. And we even got Summer to send a picture to Justin over there to see what he thought about him.
Oh yeah, did she ever come back?
Yeah, he said that they could be. That I should get them tested. They could.
That's the right answer.
So yeah, they're pretty incredible, but
they're beautiful.
But yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get any visual clowns yet. I'm upset about that, but we have a lot of possible het clowns that are really cool looking. But you can find us on Beauty and the Balls on Facebook, Instagram, even have a YouTube channel, and Morph Market. Haven't put all the hatchlings from this year yet on there, but they'll get up there pretty soon. And then there's this. Just have. Here, you want to say hi? This little guy's been on his headphones over here the whole time, but he's.
Oh, is it a kid or a dog?
It's a dog on this.
It could have been. Hi.
This is my cameraman Noah. He does all my camera work
for
YouTube.
He's doing great. Hi,
and
buddy.
he wanted to come say hi. He had his headphones on, so
All right, sorry about
he
the
didn't see or hear anything.
crocheted items.
Yeah.
No, he was paying it on his iPad over there. So.
All right, Noah. Is that his name? Noah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's do peace. Peace and love. Yeah. All right. Thank you. No, you're cute. 10 out of 10. Chris, how many babies do you got hiding underneath the
What do you
screen?
want? I mean, what do you want to Come on. You choose. Oh man.
Box on headphones.
He's probably got Jen right next to him. You just keeping him quiet.
Just like a kid's just sort of like rise, an infant just rises up from below.
No, they had a long weekend. They're
Yeah, no. All right. What's popping in your world, and where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, PNS Reptilia, Facebook, and some other podcasts probably in the future. Whatever you want, boas, blood pythons, colubrids, pine snakes, Mexican black kings, everything hatched while I was gone. So, we have well over 150 hatchlings at the moment. Haven't even posted any of the 23 balls up yet, but if you're into hypo clown or looking for lace, cypress, redhead, hypopide stuff, anything like that, bull snakes, yeah. Pick up the phone, DM me, and let's chat. Taiwanese beauty snakes, scaleless corns, all kinds of stuff hatching over here. So yeah.
So most of it's not on work market yet. You have to do the actual work of
Nothing is on
calling.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 left over from 22, and I think 3 of them are on work market. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do.
Listen, I'm in that vibe right now. It's like a pain in the ass doing individual photos, and I know the rules are the rules now, and I get it. But I'm just like 20 things that look exactly the same. That's okay. We're living our best life. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I'm hopefully chat was pretty strong and stayed for a long time. Hopefully you all use this information to decide if you want to vend or not. And if you don't want to vend, I think most people should at least attend some of the time.
Go attend.
Come hang out. We'll be
Daytona in 2024.
2024, Daytona or bust.
I'm getting ready now.
Okay.
It's time to
Me
start.
too.
All right. Thanks, everybody,
Thanks,
for
everybody.
coming. We did
Thanks for
great.
having me, Colin.